Okay, so now you're ready to actually plot this. Here's the file you used at home, you printed. It's the Lab 2.3 Zamboni acceleration. And so what you can do very easily is actually down at the bottom, you can also do this on your phone. Click, there's a little arrow down at the bottom on that tab, and duplicate. And why would you want to duplicate this? Well, check out what you can do. First off, let's change here. Of course, it has a copy. We're going to change this to L3.1 phone drop. Good. Okay, so now it's like, now look, it automatically updated. No, it didn't. Of course not. Now, in this case, here's the data that I showed you from the previous video, which you also will come up with yourself. Your numbers may be a little different than mine. In fact, I'm sure they are. But the previous video, I had some frame numbers and some distances, and you should really go beyond these. Anyway, here we are back over here. You have to update it. So here's the cool thing about this. First and foremost, we don't have a raw frame rate and an adjusted frame rate this time. We just started at 0. So we don't actually need the frames over here. In fact, you can leave them. You can highlight them and clear them. You can do this on your phone too. I'm making a video, be quiet. And let's see, on this one, looking through your phone, if you just, actually you could just press delete. It's good for figuring it out as we go. And that clears them all. Now everything gets all messed up. Look at this graph. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. Well, adjusted frame is going to be the actual frames we just did. So let's get rid of all these. And I know we had that nice little formula, but it doesn't matter. And don't get nervous at all your times say 0. They're going to straighten out in a minute. So the frames we had were 0, 14, 20. Now you're going to have different frames, but I'm going to put mine 0, 14, 20, 25, 27, 29, 34, 46.3, and 56.4. Now what's the cool thing about this? Boom, we already have it set to divide by 240, so we're already populated. Now anything extra down here, you will have more data points. I didn't, and so I'm going to delete off these last 2 rows. They're not of interest to me. Now this graph still looks kind of funny, and that's because the distances are not right. The distances, we also have to pull off our data. So let's pull them off. The first distance, of course, was 0. The next, it can't follow a nice simple formula like last time. We just read them. It was 0.02. Then on my paper, I had 0.04, 0.06, 0.07, 0.08, 0.11, 0.20, 0.30. So there's all my data. Now, the beauty about the duplicate is, bam, it's already done. Not only that, the equation is already done. Such nice things. Okay, now I don't think I was that careful with coming up with my data. I could have done a bit better, but you know, holding the phone with one hand and operating the other one with the other, well, we did our best in that circumstance. So you hopefully will come up with a nice set of data, and you notice mine, they seem to trace out a pretty curve. I already have an equation set up, and I already know with my y equals ax squared plus bx plus c that I can determine the initial displacement, the initial velocity, and the acceleration. And I want you to do that too. So tomorrow when you come in, I want you to have this done, printed up, and that same analysis we did today for Lab 2.3, I want that done too. Tell us what the initial displacement is, the initial velocity, and the acceleration, and then list some sources of error, just like Lab 2.3. Now you can do the data entry on your phone, and actually you can do this entire thing on your phone because the graph is already there for you. If you start from scratch and you try to make a brand new graph on a new sheet, the trend line has to be added, just like video part 2 from yesterday from the computer. But this whole process you just saw can be done right on your phone. But bam! Fantastic.